Hi everyone and welcome back to Perima's Kitchen. I am Selena, my daughter is Shivaya, and today we are going to be cooking up some fresh chicken curry with Ghadra beans. You will find this recipe under our traditional recipe category as well as the never hungry category. This delicious meal is high in protein, low in carbs, and it has the essential fats, which is the best combination to reach satiety. We are a family of 4 and I do serve up my curries with either basmati rice or rotis for the kids, but I will give you other options to try. Essentially, we don't want to have any starchy carbs, but prefer rather some low carb options as an accompaniment. So let's get to it. To my pot, I'm adding a heaped tablespoon of coconut oil. You can use olive oil, but olive oil meant for cooking, not extra virgin olive oil. And if you are following a traditional recipe, you can use any other oil, canola or sunflower will do. Next, I will add 2 cinnamon sticks and about 2 bay leaves. This will also help to tenderize my chicken because I'm using fresh chicken. Add 1 large sliced onion and let it sizzle in that oil. As soon as your onions start to get brown on the sides, you can start adding the rest of your ingredients. I'm adding about 3 chillies. I then add curry leaves and I include the stems. Mix everything well. Let it fry for a few seconds before we start adding our spices. First, I'm adding a teaspoon of turmeric. Next, a teaspoon and a half of Jeera powder. Alternatively, you can use Jeera seeds. 2 tablespoons of masala. This is my blended masala. And 1 tablespoon of chili powder. Mix everything into your oil. And just remember that we only use 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, so it will be drier than normal. I know at this point it's very tempting to want to add a little bit more oil. Please don't. There is so much more oil that's going to be released from the fats in the chicken. Next, I'm adding 1 diced tomato and 1 heaped teaspoon of crushed ginger and garlic. Mix everything together and we will leave it on a low heat to simmer for just a few minutes. So while this is simmering on a low heat, let's move on to our Ghadra beans. Today I'm using a cup full of Ghadra beans. I've added to a small pot with boiling water. Next, add your salt to taste. And then I add a half a teaspoon of turmeric. We just want it to parboil. So coming back to our tomato chutney that's been simmering, we just needed to give our tomatoes a few minutes just to release all of its juices. At this point, we're going to add some boiling water. So you just need about a 1/4 cup of boiling water. Close your lid and let it simmer for a few minutes. So after a few minutes while the chutney was simmering with the water, it's now ready and I can start adding my chicken pieces. So while I'm adding my chicken pieces, I'll just chat to you a bit. As you can see, I'm using fresh chicken. It has some fat on, it has skin on. You can trim off some excess fat if you want to. I don't necessarily eat any of the skin, but I enjoy that when it's cooking together. I enjoy all of that fat in my curry, in my gravy. That is very important for me because it helps me reach that satiety that I'm looking for. And you will notice that once we reach the end of our cooking, all of the fats, all of those juices will be released into the gravy. Therefore, I didn't really need to add any more oil or any more coconut oil. I will, however, add some more boiling water later on just to help thin out the gravy. So remember, there is a difference. Usually you'll be cooking in some canola oil, so there's extra oil in there, plus you're adding on the rice, plus. You're actually now changing the way you're eating without even realizing, but you're still reaching that satiety. I've just left it on for just a few minutes. I will now mix it and then add some salt to taste. You will already notice some of the juices being released. After I add the salt, there will be even more juices released. So I'm using fresh chicken. It will take a bit longer, probably about 35-40 minutes. If you're using soft chicken, please check on it earlier. You don't want to overcook it. I will let it now cook for about 35 minutes and check on it occasionally. After about 35 minutes, you can see the oils surfacing. You can see all the juices being released. You need to cook your chicken very slowly. Don't rush it. If you rush it, it's going to dry out. We want all of that chicken to cook properly, and we want it to cook in the juices before we move on to the next step. So cooking it on a lower heat, which essentially means cooking it slowly, is key. So I'm going to leave it for a further 10 minutes. We want that gravy to reduce down and become a bit more concentrated before I add boiling water and my Ghadra beans. So after a further 10 minutes, the chicken is looking beautiful. It's concentrated. It's reduced down the gravy. Right? If it catches a little bit, that is so yummy. It really does add to the flavor. We don't want to burn it. I'm just talking about catching it a bit. It just gives your chicken curry that little bit edge, that little bit extra flavor. I'm adding now about a cup of boiling water. So I'm mixing all that boiling water into the gravy. It looks gorgeous. It has a lovely consistency. I will now get ready to add my Ghadra beans. Your Ghadra beans, you just need to drain all that water and then add it straight to your pot. Remember, it's parboiled, so it will cook further with the rest of your chicken curry. I will give it another 10 minutes. So all in all, this recipe takes about an hour long. So we don't want to overcook our Ghadra beans. That's why we're leaving it on for only 10 minutes. We're just giving it that opportunity to absorb some of that beautiful gravy. And then it's all ready at the same time. The aroma in the kitchen is so yummy. The food looks delicious. The Ghadra beans and the gravy is just perfect. This is going to be so satisfying, so filling. But remember, your accompaniment is just as important. I'm garnishing with some fresh Dhania, and I will serve. You can have it with some high protein bread. You can have it with a lush salad. But it will be definitely satisfying. For my kids, I will give them some basmati rice. Remember, when you are dishing for yourself, don't try to ration your portion sizes. You will need some extra curry Especially because you're not having any basmati rice, you will need that extra curry. If you are adding some high protein bread, then you can reduce the amount of curry. Satisfaction is key, so eat until you are full. Both my husband and myself usually do go for seconds. All the ingredients I found in the drop down description below. Please subscribe. Kindly hit the notification bell so you are notified when a new video is uploaded. Please like and share, and your comments are always very welcome. See you again soon in Perima's kitchen. Have a beautiful day.